Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Perry Howe. He's now 5-3 with one draw, one win by knockout. Back out 15th of July against Billy Dez, 8-0 undefeated prospect in the 6-rounder. It's going to be a war, just put it that way.
Let's do it.
Yes, but before I get into that fight, you fought Ricky for the Central Area title over 10 rounds. It didn't go your way. But
It didn't get it. It didn't.
how did you feel like in that ring? Like, how did you feel? Did he surprise
Well, obviously,
you?
yeah and no. What it were is we kind of knew his tactics from the start. He knew mine, and all I said before that fight, and I think I did say this publicly, was if it went 10 rounds, I believed I was going to win. I believed Ricky had to get me out of there to win.
Early, I think you said in the
Yeah,
first
I think
six
it.
or
I said if he didn't get me out there in the first 4 or 5, I will guarantee a points win. And obviously, I was relying on that. What I didn't take into consideration was he didn't knock me out, but in the third round, he hit me that hard I couldn't see.
oh
So
really?
yeah, so there were a moment in the third, and he caught me with a shot, and it was literally like I seen 3 of him, and it was quite funny, really. But from that moment on, I just didn't really recover. And he's fair play to Ricky, he won fair and square, and I
Surprised you
just
didn't
didn't
go
have it.
down if you were seeing 3 of him.
Well, I don't like to go down. I'm a bit stubborn, aren't I? So
Yeah,
it was one of those, Sam. Like, obviously, I still believed in the plan.
I
When
mean,
I
fair
were trying
play
to
to
get me
keep
recovery.
continuing, mate.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is the sport, isn't it,
Because
pal?
you never know, that shot could have came though, so you just
Well,
kept
well,
going.
well. That way, by the 9th round, I knew I didn't have it in the tank, and I was like, you say, if you're still in the fight, you've still got a
What
chance.
round did you feel like, nah, it's not going the way I wanted it?
Well, rounds 1, 2, 3. And then 4 and 5, I was still really recovering. And then 6th or 7th, I felt like I was getting a bit of success. And I think the ref must have think I was as well, because I think I scored some rounds as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, but I just knew I would down on the cards that much that it was going to take something pretty special to get him out of there.
yeah.
And with the dizziness I was with the concussion, I just didn't have it in me, mate. My legs didn't want to do what I wanted them to do. And to be fair, Ricky's pace, it didn't stop that much. And I obviously, from a sports side of view, I was quite impressed with Ricky's pressure he was putting on. So, because it was obviously the fittest he's ever been, because he'd never been able to do that in sparring before. So, normally 6, 7 into sparring, he was blowing out, and he didn't. He was still there in my face, and he did enough to win. So, I can't fault him. Worthy winner on the night.
Yeah, it was a good fight though, mate. You stayed in there and you still were firing though.
Well, that's it. That's the game, isn't it, mate?
Yes, mate. But yeah. So that didn't go your way, but another good 10 rounds banked, which is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Not the result, of course, but
But
you
that's
got
it.
that
Two
10
10
rounds.
rounders back to back. It's not bad going, is it?
Not bad going. But you've got Billy Dez, 8-0, six rounds. Another prospect who's getting a saw he got interviewed by IFL or something the other day.
Did I?
Yeah, and
I haven't really been looking what he's been doing, to be fair. And I haven't really been looking at his fights either. Because
yeah,
obviously, I know the fights he's had before, but I haven't really got anything to compare him to, because I know his opponents aren't me. So they're gonna. There's no one who's even similar style to me who he's fought before. So there were no point watching how we beat them lads,
because
because
most people would say after a 10 round defeat, um, it was a hard fight,
yeah,
especially after a 10 round defeat for an area. Sometimes people would drop back down to like a sort of, no offense to the journey, but they would go back to it like to fight a
yeah.
journeyman. But with you, no,
No, not
an
happening. Not a
undefeated
chance.
opponent. You just
Yeah, not a chance, mate. That's not in my style. I'll know fighters, and you will yourself, win or lose. They would have took an easy fight this next one. Um, I owe it to me supporters and the people who've got me. I don't want them paid walk round jobs. I don't
and
want
that's
them.
why everyone keeps getting those tickets. And I saw you had some for this fight, and looks like you've done well with them, and it's.
Well, I've done all right. I'll be honest with you. As the away fighter, I had no intentions of selling any tickets. But what I'm realising is because of my sincerity to the sport,
Well,
people do
people were
still want to
asking.
follow me.
Yeah, people wanted to
Yeah.
come and support you.
Yeah.
It,
I do have a good support base. Obviously, my supporters and my friends and my sponsors, they understand I'm in this to make the most out of it for me and my family. And I'm blessed to be in this position. I'm 33 years old now. So I think Billy Deniz is 22 or something, it says on BoxRec. So
yeah,
he's a young pup. He's coming through. He's got time on his side. He's
he's
built a
got
good
5
record.
knockouts on his record.
Yeah, well, let's try and not make it 6, Sam.
Well, he's not going to make it 6. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I like your confidence, Sam.
And I think he's ranked 17. He's a light. It says on here it's light heavyweight. Is this fight light heavy?
Yeah, well, I know Billy's been boxing at light heavy now. Obviously, I've been asked to shred a few pounds from the top end of cruiser.
He's
I'm going to come down.
17th in Britain on BoxRec. It said.
Yeah. So yeah, he's built his way up good. I believe he's got a
that
kickboxing
ranking,
background.
Mate.
That's it. I believe he's got a good kickboxing background, hasn't he? I think he was world champ kickboxer or something. Yeah, so I know what I'm getting in with. I know he's going to be a good lad.
Because I've seen this on BoxRec a few weeks ago. So you've had quite a few weeks' notice, haven't you?
Well, what it were is I've been asking for these fights. So since the Ricky fight, I took a couple of weeks out. But I've also, you've probably noticed, Sam, I've been on my stag do. I've been on a family holiday to watch my mate get married. So I wasn't in the gym for a good 2-3 weeks, but this fight got announced while I was still away on my holidays. So I've only really had a 4-week camp. I'm not making excuses. I've also gone back to work full time, driving the lorries. And this is my way of keeping my hand in with the sport. I don't want. Obviously, I took 18 months out from full-time employment to pursue the goals with the Central Area, the WBF, do the 210 rounders.
If you got offered to fight for the light heavyweight Central Area, would you go for it?
The money would have to talk for the light heavy Central Area. For me to make the light heavyweight category, I think you've got to be about 12 stone 7, mate. And the thing is, I'm a 33-year-old man. 5 years ago, I was 19 stone. So for me to even make the cruiser limit, I've done phenomenal. For me, I do believe the cruiser.
You're a winner in life,
should be
mate.
split. Yeah, if you look at the weights, Sam, I think the cruisers. I'm on about this all the time. I think the cruiserweight division, it should be split into 2. I think there's a massive.
There's a bridgerweight division, but that's not being promoted that big.
No, well, that's the other side, isn't it? That's
so
in between cruiser and ever. But
I'd
like one between cruiser and light ever.
If there was bridgerweights, would you campaign at bridgerweight if it was big?
Well, the thing is, bridgerweight, I believe, is above 14.4, isn't it? And then they've brought it in, so it's like for the small heavies.
So
I'd like one the opposite end. The bracket for cruiserweight, I think, is about 12.7 to about 14.4. Yeah. I'd like one between 12.7 and 13 and a half. They should have one there.
But there's still, for you, there's still loads of fights out there that at cruiserweight that there is.
Oh, yeah. I'll take any of them. Any of them who want to fight, we'll go and have a go with them.
Did you watch Vidal v Deniz?
Yes, I did, mate. Yes, I did. I think we got offered Vidal last year. And I was on holiday, unfortunately. Yeah, we got offered him. But obviously, if that fight come again, I'd take that anytime.
And you said you were on holiday when you got offered for the boxer tournament.
I know. I like my holidays, mate. Do you know what it is? I've got a family, pal. I've got 3 kids. And because how much all this work I do and all the boxing and the promoting and the fighting, it takes over. So any free time I do get, I like to go treat my family.
Of course, you spend time with your family, but is it sort of a bit irritating is when you go on holiday, these big opportunities on the TV come up?
Well, it's like they know I'm away, so they all do it without me, don't they, Sam? They don't want me, do they, mate? You know. But no, jokes aside, obviously going forward, I'm getting married this year as well, so I've got a busy year this year.
Mate.
Thanks, mate. August 26th, so I'm looking forward to that. So in between balancing the work life and the family life, I'm trying to get as many fights in as I want. I want to be active. I kind of I'll be honest with you, I lost a bit of the spark that I had for the sport for a few months, and what it were is I
What,
was putting
after
too
you
much.
lost to Ricky, or?
No, just the build up to it. In the time of that fight, I get, like I said, I'd give my job up full time, and I was pursuing the dreams. But you said this sport's hard to make money out of, and in between that, obviously, I want to chase these goals, and I'm blessed to be in this position. But I've also got to be putting my family first now.
Ah,
So I'm trying to find the balance, and this is my balance now. So I'm going to keep fit.
just
I'm
give
going
it
to
your
drive my
all.
lorries. That's it. That's all I can do, and I want to be active. And what I've noticed is I just enjoy fight, mate. I enjoy the sport. I'll fight anyone, anywhere, if the price is right, and
But
we're just going to
were
have some
you a
fun,
bit
mate.
up?
I
Were
like.
you up? Sorry to interrupt, but were you upset when you lost to Ricky?
Of course, I was upset, but I wasn't surprised because obviously I knew myself how the fight had gone.
Yeah,
And
when it
like I
went to
said,
decision, no offense, but I knew they would give it to Ricky.
yeah, well, that's it. So there were no big shocks. It weren't like
I
it were a
had
close fight.
8-2 to Ricky, maybe give you 3 rounds.
Yeah, well, I think the ref gave me 2 rounds as well. And like you say, I was quite blessed to even score them because that were after he hit me in the third where I didn't even know what I was doing. So the fact that I still scored 2 rounds, I was quite impressed myself.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
take the positives from it. Like I said, I've done 10-round back-to-back fights.
Still got
I'll
that
take these
that
opportunities.
title though, mate. You still got the one.
Well, I've still got the WBF for now. Get a bit frustrated with that. We'll give Howard a call while he's here. Howard, you need to get someone lined up for me, mate, to fight for that title. So put someone in
You want
front
to
of me
defend
with a
that one.
prize. I want to defend it. I don't want to be forced to vacate it. So there's got to be someone on this planet who's a cruiserweight, who's got the money to put where the mouth is,
What about
and come and
Tommy
try and take my
Fury?
title.
Because he keeps saying he wants to fight these YouTubers. Why don't he fight a
I
proper
know.
boxer?
Because he's a coward, mate. I reckon I'll have more chance of fighting Roman Fury at this rate. I bet he's got more balls than Tommy. So I'm trying to do it because,
Who
like you say,
knows?
Tom.
You never know. In a few, maybe next year, if maybe if he builds his record up, who knows? It might be you might fight Roman or.
Possibly, but I would still offer Tommy Fury this fight for the WBF International title. He's just took a made-up belt that the WBC have given him for beating Jake Paul. What's that about?
I know.
So,
And now he
and
wants
when
to fight KSI. I mean, what is
it,
this?
and this, mate, is what's wrong with the sport. This is what I get upset about.
Because
So,
he goes saying, after I beat Jake Paul, I want to go back to proper boxing. And then he just comes and fights another YouTuber. I mean, it's just
yeah,
not a
is
proper boxer.
the thing is, you've got to think he's quite clever because he's obviously making a lot of money.
Because with Tommy, yeah, if he wasn't Tyson's brother, he wouldn't be on these big platforms. He would be with like fighting on these smaller hall shows, in my opinion.
That's it. Well, I want someone out there who's watching this to get in touch with Tommy's lot and tell him, does he want the WBF International Champ? Because he can come and try and take my title because I'm
And
no
it's a
Jake Paul,
proper
am I?
bout as well.
Yeah, it's a proper fight. Let him get his credibility back, and at least he'd get some bling that means something, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And
He's. I don't think he wants to entertain it. Do you?
would you rematch Ricky if that came about, or just?
Yeah, I'd happily rematch Ricky. Obviously, there's a few of us in that pot around that central
Yeah,
area.
because
So,
if Ricky, if he goes on and vacates it and looks to fight for that English, you could get matched with Sheldon or
Sheldon, Sonny's out there.
Sonny Taylor, is it?
Yeah, Sonny Taylor's, I think, comes under the central area.
I think
We
he
did
does,
offer his
yeah.
services. I've tried to fight Sonny Taylor already.
When was
So,
that fight meant to be?
about 2 weeks after I fought Ricky.
Well, so you was ready to go
I
fighting
was
2 weeks
ready to
after.
go, mate. I really wanted that fight,
What?
and I don't think no outcome of it. It was down to box, and then they said they had someone else lined up, and then they didn't want me. But
He
the
got
thing is,
dropped by
mate,
a journeyman the other day. I saw.
did I? Oh,
If
you
it's
know
the
more than
same,
me,
if
mate.
it's the same person, I think he did. I'll try and send
Yeah.
you the link.
Yeah, do that, mate. But like I said, there's a pot of us. There's Sonny Taylor,
Sheldon.
Sheldon, and Ricky, and there's all us in that way. And I
And
think there's
then
a few over
Roman might
Liverpool way.
get in the mix because
Yeah,
because of his name, you know, like
yeah.
they'll try
Well,
and maybe push him on a bit.
the
Or
problem I've got now,
Tommy would be in that mix if he actually wants to.
if he decided to be in that mix, yeah. But he's messing about with YouTubers, isn't he? But the problem I've got, Sam, is, and you know this, I sell a lot of tickets, and I'm the one who brings the commodity to the show when it comes to these area title fights. So obviously,
But Ricky did sell quite a bit as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did all right, Ricky. To be fair, he did all right, mate. But
was he the biggest ticket seller you've faced so far?
On the night, that probably was the biggest turnout. But like, it was
What
weird
about
because
the
I was
deck
down
one?
Zeway.
What about deck?
Yeah, in fact, yeah, Deck had a big crowd, yeah, down at Newark. And I think Billy's quite a big ticket seller as well, you know. So I
But the
think I'm
fans
going
don't
into the
fight
Dragon's
for
Den.
you.
You what, mate?
Do you feel like I said the fans don't fight for you? And because you've got your crowd make a good noise anyway, so you're out
Yeah, yeah.
chanting them anyway. Your lot.
They're a rowdy bunch, that Promise Army, aren't they?
Yes.
That's
Do
it.
you
That's it.
feel like you've got to knock him out to get this win, as it's his hometown, his promotion, or if you just put up a great boxing display?
I'd probably have to knock him out to get a draw. We know this game, don't we, mate? So, but it's one of those. I'm looking forward to the fight. Like I say, I know what I'm getting. He's
Is it your first
undefeated.
time working? I know you're not promoted by Kevin Marine. I know, but
Yeah,
you're fighting on his show. I mean, is it your first time working with him? And what's it like
yeah.
working with Kevin?
Well, Kev's all right, to be fair. Like I get on with most of the promoters in this sport because, like, there's no reason not to. End of the day, we all help each other. And the fact is, I messaged Kev saying I wanted fights. I've messaged all the promoters saying I want fights. So, and that still
And
stands.
I'm
So I'll
sure
work
that
with anyone.
Billy as well. I'm sure
Yeah,
he's happy that he's got someone coming to fight, coming to try and take his O off him, and this
yeah.
get the best out of both of you.
Well, of course, mate. Like you say, us fighters want to fight. It's when you start getting up to 10-0, 11-0, and you look
Would
down the
he be
records.
thrown into that central area mix as well?
Well, like you say, I think he's going to try and aim to stay around light ever. But obviously, he's only a young lad, so he's another one. He might come up to cruiser, because obviously, as you get older, you do naturally put some weight on anyway.
Because if Ricky vacates that central area, I'm sure you're quite high up. I'm sure you'll be one of the ones wanting to fight that. Like maybe
Yeah, well,
Sheldon or Sonny. I think Sonny's what, 9-0 now, 10-0
that's
something.
it. I know any promoter will want me for central area, mate, because I'll bring that crowd in and make it happen.
Yeah, and you do well for tickets, and I think that helps the show. When fighter does ticket, it gets more money for the show. Or
Yeah, well, this is it, mate. That's what it's all about, end of the day, innit?
wait, did I ask you what your thoughts were on Vidal Riley v Deniz?
You said if I'd seen it, I managed to catch it, yeah, and it were all right. Like, it went the way we expected it to, didn't it? So,
But in my opinion, I thought Deniz, yeah, he was losing the first three, but in my opinion, in that fourth, he had him rocking a bit.
yeah,
He
he
caught
did
him.
wake him up a bit, didn't he?
I think he
I do
did
think
wake.
Vidal Riley's a really good fighter, though. He is
He
a really good
is,
fighter.
but and then he hit him low, like the low blow, and that just took it out of him.
Yeah. Well, these things happen, don't they? So, like you said, this is the sport, mate. These little things come along.
But knowing Anise, his nickname says it all. Braveheart. He just wanted to continue straight away, didn't he? And just
yeah,
that's just as a fighter, that's just the instinct to go on straight away, isn't it?
that's it. Well, nobody wants to get stopped, do they? Do you know what I mean? So
I know, but and then he got caught, and then he got back up, and then he technically got hit on the floor when he went down the first time, then got up, and then personally, I don't think when he got up, I just waved it straight off, and then they let it continue, and you know when he but right call from the trainer, but it's just
yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Like you say, sometimes when you know your fighters
he
in
did
that much
deserve
trouble.
that rematch, in my opinion, but it's
Yeah,
just sometimes the way it is.
it's just how it goes, mate, isn't it? This is the business.
What about coming up in a few weeks? Crawford, Spence. Who's your money on?
Yeah. Oh,
I've had
that's an
mixed
hard one.
opinions, and I can't argue whatever. If you say anyone on
No.
points or knockout, I can't argue with either. But I've got my prediction, but I've said
Yeah.
this, but you never know. Come fight night, come watching the presses, I might change it.
You might change your
In
mind.
the
Well, that's the
fight
good
week,
thing with this fight.
sometimes I go, but
This is the one with this fight. These are the fights that the sport want, aren't they? At the end of the day, because this is where they split opinions. I think Crawford.
I agree,
Points.
mate.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not on
See,
points. Not on points.
No.
I said late stoppage.
Late stoppage.
10.
Yeah.
Round 10.
Possibly, yeah. It's one of those fights. It could go either way, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
but
I
yeah,
can't wait for it.
Yeah, my money would be on Crawford if I was a betting man.
Yeah. Fair
But
enough.
like you said, it's that close, mate. I won't put my
You
house
could
on
toss
it.
a coin for it.
Yeah, basically, mate. Yeah. So,
That's
but yeah, they're the fights that the fans want to see.
What
They're
about
the fights that
AJ
people should
Dillian
get
White?
behind.
We've seen that's got announced.
That's a joke.
What, you don't want to see that again?
I've had enough of these heavyweights, mate. They need your Tyson Furies, your Anthony Joshua's.
If AJ wins against White, then he'll fight Wilder in December, and if Wilder beats Ruiz, you just have that feeling that Wilder or AJ will just lose. One of them, it just somehow won't happen, or one of them will get injured, or one of them will just ask for too much money. That's what happens.
Everybody is sick to death of this heavyweight division. I think.
Yes,
it's getting
and
to a point now.
See Usyk fighting to buy. I know he's a mandatory. It's just that Fury don't want to fight Usyk, so Usyk just wants to stay busy, and he's fighting and then the mandatory gets ordered, so he has to fight him. Or does that belt get vacated if he don't fight him?
I don't know. Answers on a postcard at minute, mate, because it just seems to get made up as it goes along, doesn't it? It's quite farcical, to be fair. You'd think at that level there'd be something in place
should
now.
beat Dubai in 6. He should.
Yeah. He should. I think he'll beat Dubai.
I mean, Dubai was, in my opinion, his last fight, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
Against that Lorena. I mean, he would have got stopped, like finished in that round. Whether if it was Usyk, Fury, Wilder, Dillian White, AJ, even Fraser Clark or Fabio or someone like that, they would have just got him out of there if that happened.
That's it. As a fan, mate, we've got to get Fury in with you, can't we? We've got to do it.
Yes. So it has to happen.
And the frustration in it is, I do think Fury could beat you just on sheer size, but I don't think he's willing to take the risk, do you? I think there's something running. Yeah,
I think that as well. I think,
and he won't like to admit it. I think he's scared, and I don't like it, because even if he is, I would rather see him go in there and lose his undefeated and put on a good show. I don't understand.
I mean, that was a joke.
You can build a legacy on dodging people.
Sorry, I thought it was a joke when he said, "Oh, I'm going to fight Chisora for the 3rd time." What was the point of that?
Everyone's like that, but then I'll blame everybody who's going to pay for it as well. So that's the problem. The whole time there's money to be made.
I know. I said to my dad, I could try and find it on just someone streaming it, but he said no. He wants to pay. So just went with it.
Oh well, let him pay then. But it's one of those fights. These people that waste that money, they'd rather come down and watch me and Billy Deniz. I think at least you're getting a proper fight.
And
you know what I mean?
Because I went to AJ Franklin, and some of the fights on that card, I mean, just no. And some of the fights I see on the small show are just better than those fights on that big card. I mean, on the AJ card, there was only really one decent fight. No, 2 decent fight, if that. And the main event.
Did you watch the Dalton Smith fight?
Yeah, Dalton, big Sheffield.
That was an okay card. I was down there at the arena.
Was you?
Yeah, it was only on our doorstep, weren't it?
Oh yeah. So, Dalton Maxwell, brutal knockout.
Fantastic knockout from Dalton. That, and we were watching it,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it weren't bad because they had a few titles on, didn't they?
The English title was one, Adam Cope.
Yeah.
I interviewed him before. He seems very disappointed. Because I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet. Who did you really have winning that one? or did you
Oh,
watch it?
I can't remember if I went to the
No,
toilet on that one.
I've watched the. I think I watched I've watched the highlights, but because I just couldn't find the whole fight, so it's just a bit irritating because you only see little
Yeah.
clips of it, don't you? And it's just a bit hard to make you.
It's hard for us because we were watching the fights, and obviously but we weren't non-biased to anyone. Obviously, we wanted Dalton to win on the night because he were our own boy.
I was watch. I thought based on the highlights, I had Cope up, but it's just what it is.
Oh, I've got a gate crasher. Do you want to come and say hello? Watch this. You're going to see if you can free roll this one. Right, say hello to everybody out there.
Hello.
Say hello. Close your legs because I know Dad's ready for bed. So, yeah, right. Hang on, because she's only got an IT on, Sam. This is what I have to deal with, kiddies. So, gate crashing my interviews. What's going off? So, have you got all you want to say to Sam? So, yeah, this is what I mean, mate. So, in between the boxing and the work, I've got little munchkins like this. She was sat watching Disney films. She's obviously got bored, and she wanted to come and listen to what we were talking about.
Yes, but yeah,
So-
what were your thoughts on the Dalton fight?
I liked it, mate. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, I wanted Dalton to win from start. It's
Yeah,
just
because
fan
he's the
favorite.
homeboy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's a nice bloke. Wednesday fan as well.
Have you met him?
And and he come down. And the thing is, did you see the cuts on his eyes?
Yeah,
Yeah, his team done really good, I think, because they kept them under control. And then for him to find that knockout, mate. And you know when we were there, and I don't know what you've seen on telly, but I watched him go down that Maxwell, and I went, oh, it looks a bit bad, you know. And obviously, Dalton being the gentleman he is, straight over to him, made sure he was all right. Didn't want to celebrate until he made sure. So a proper sportsman,
yeah,
really good ambassador for the sport, and he's going to go on to do big things. So
yeah. And
it's good.
I reckon he's a future world champ in my opinion.
Oh yeah. No, I see it as well, mate. And he's got a good team behind him and that. So I know he's going to do well.
Yes. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So, based on your fight, do you know if there's a live stream? Because I do know they put it on YouTube the following day or a few days after. But so I know
you might know, but you might know more than me because I've been asked this obviously by my fans as well.
Yeah.
I'm not. What have you seen him at Oldham before on Kev Marie? I don't know.
Not like I don't think they live stream them. I think they do put them on YouTube like the following few days. But you said again that that Ricky one wasn't gonna get. You said you weren't sure about Ricky, but that was good. That I was watching that one, the stream.
Yeah. Oh, she just wants to play you a song. Let her have a moment. Oh, you know, everybody in the world's going to see this. You're going to be famous for playing that flute. See, she has to steal the limelight off me, Sam. That's it. Right, let me finish this with Sam then. You can have whatever you want, babe, if you let me finish this.
When you're done with that,
Of course I can.
my water bottle.
Of course. Love you, baby. Oh, little rascal. Gonna be famous now, isn't she?
Yes.
That's it.
Oh wait, what were we saying? We were saying about Oldham. We were saying
Oldham, yeah. So I don't know if how they do it, but like you say, it'll probably end up on YouTube anyway or something, won't it? No,
It'll be
carry on.
It'll be up the next day probably, but we'll see.
Yeah, well that's it. And do you know what? As a small old shows, I prefer it like that anyway. It's all right having the TV coverage.
What can people expect from you next week?
Just me go out there and do my thing, mate. I'm obviously. I think Billy knows, mate, that I'm not just going to turn around to walk him round. I want to test him. I don't want to take his shots on my chin, so he's going to be doing his best to get me out of here. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I'll see how I feel on the night and go and give him a run for his money.
Just give it your all. That's all.
Well, that's it, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Obviously, Billy's got age on his side. He's the home fighter. He's 8-0. But we like being the underdog, don't we, Sam?
Yes. And before I let you go, mate, do you want to thank just anyone as normal? Trainer, sponsors, manager?
Yeah, obviously, thank all my teammates at Riley's. We've currently just moved gyms, so we've just moved to Answorth here in Sheffield. We've got an open day tomorrow. on Saturday for between 10 and 1. Anyone wants to pop down, see what we're about. I'll be showing my face. I might bring my belt down as well, show the kids and that coming into the gym. Anyone wanting to get into boxing, any level, whether you've never boxed before or you're
So
amateur.
where is that again, mate? What gym?
It's in Answorth, mate. Riley's Boxing and Fitness Centre. We've opened up on Portland Business Unit. It's just behind the Asda.
All
So,
right. So if you're
anyone,
you're local, is that in Sheffield?
Yeah.
So if
it
you're
is,
local,
mate. Yeah.
So if you're in Sheffield, make sure you get down and yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'd like to thank all my sponsors as well and everybody who's helping me chase my goals. And big shout out to my wife to be, who's currently in Benidorm on a hen do. So if anyone's out there and wants to go and buy her a drink, get her on board and say I've sent you.
And yes, thank you for your time, Perry, and smash it and get that win. You've got this.
Not a problem, champ. And you all the best, mate.
And you, mate. Thank you and
Have
good
a good
luck.
one, pal. See you in a bit, pal.
Bye,
Much
mate.
love.